Good afternoon, Vikashji.
Good afternoon, Sumanji. Great. Welcome all, and we start today's reading. And we are continuing the Dopamine Detox book. And today's topic of discussion will be about the problems with overstimulation. Very important, relevant topic. And nowadays we are seeing it is not only Gen Z, but most of the people who are engaged with social media without much of thoughtfulness are ending up here overstimulation. And what are the problems? Let's try to understand so that we can consciously decide whether, when and how much is really okay, and after that when to stop. The author says here, when you are engaging in highly stimulated activities, your brain will keep damaging more and more stimulation. As so brain will keep damaging more and more stimulation. So highly stimulating activities should be understood by us actually. And I remember when I was in my childhood, that time these all things were not there, but the video games were there. And those video games were also falls into this category, and that's where actually our teachers and parents were always mindful and restricting us, saying that okay, there is a limit, and beyond this limit actually you should not indulge even if it is a holiday. As your level of stimulation rises, regular tasks will appear increasingly dull and unappealing. Regular task automatically appears dull and unappealing, but we need to do anyway. You will ask yourself, why work on my book, write a report, or create a marketing plan when I could do something far more exciting? And what is that excitement is might not be all actually of real value, but we might actually end up landing there. The gap between your current high level of stimulation and the lower level of stimulation needed to tackle difficult tasks leads you to procrastinate. This is one vital reason as to why people procrastinate. They think that the tasks are more interesting when I have something more exciting that I can do, then why to do the things which are of a lower level of stimulation. Picture in this way, you are on a different stimulation wavelength, and this wavelength has no overlap with the wavelength you must be in to tackle your major task. For instance, as a writer, my most important task is to write, obviously. However, as soon as I start checking social media, signing into YouTube, or looking at my sales figures, I find myself pulled into a whirlpool of distractions from which I cannot seem to escape. Once someone actually is in the loop, it is difficult. Even author is also admitting that it is difficult, and he's which I can't seem to escape. As my level of stimulation increases, the writing becomes one of the most unappealing and challenging tasks imaginable. This is a clear-cut danger sign for all of us to choose consciously. Now, the key question is, what can we do about it? How can we lower our level of stimulation to make our major task appealing or appear more appealing and even exciting? How to do? So I hope all of us know which is our major task. Just now, let's find out how to make the task more appealing and exciting. We are going to discuss this in this section. Very interesting. So action steps, let's discuss. Using your action guide, write down a specific distraction pattern you often fall into that leads you to be in a state of overstimulation. This is the exercise that author is giving us. We need to write down a specific distraction pattern. So the distraction pattern means like maybe a particular stimulation activity that we do at a particular time almost every day, then that is called a distraction pattern. And author is saying that we need to closely observe and find out those distraction patterns where actually we are falling into most of the days and which is actually leading us into state of overstimulation. For instance, it could be checking Facebook, then watching videos in your newsfeed before checking your emails and reading the news. So this is a sequence that generally comes into picture. Like first we will open the Facebook. We think that okay, we'll just see the updates. But sooner after we finish the watching the updates, the personal updates maybe we are landing into videos which is of pure entertainment and nothing informative or no social um, connection there. But still we end up watching videos and then news feeds before. Another pattern could be news feed before checking your mails and reading the news. So intention might be news, checking the emails, which is personal and important, could be to some extent. Definitely we need to check our emails, but if we end up reading the news feeds that is appearing in the hindsight, or end up reading news uh, while it is unintentional, then definitely it is a trap. And that trap, the author is saying, the stimulation traps. What are they? Let's see. As soon as you enter a state of overstimulation, your mind will play tricks on you to convince you there is no need to leave the trance. Instead, your mind encourages you to embrace it and seek even more stimulation. After all, we have to enjoy life, right? This is so interesting. Actually, this kind of thing, this kind of um, automatic feed generally comes from mind. That if the mind is for enjoying, then why not? So that state author is calling it as the trance state. But again, the trance state could be different in different context. For spirituality, the trance state is different, and the here actually there is another um, aspect altogether. There is another insight altogether, wherein actually the overstimulation state also kind of a trance state that author is saying.
Yes, the trance state is also like we are not aware what is going around us, and
Yes.
we
So
are
in a
lost in
positive
our world.
loss in our world. So in positive sense, in spirituality, actually that is a very good like enjoying state wherein actually we can actually remain and but here also this is also a trap. And that is true, so true. So instead, your mind encourages you to embrace it and seek even more stimulation. And that even more stimulation, why? Because we think that this is what actually the life is meant to, and it is the real enjoyment. In this section, let's go over 4 tricks your mind plays on you to keep you overstimulated. Trick number 1, returning to work is easy. This is the trick actually. We think that it is easy and we get indulged in overstimulation and we find that when are gone. And it is not actually easy, but every time we start watching something in social media or something, we feel that okay, yeah, I have good willpower. Actually, this is called willpower trap. I generally call this as a willpower trap. The author has a different name. Why I call this as a willpower trap? Because we believe that our willpower is good and we think that let's indulge in any activity which gives us little bit of initially we think that it's a relaxation, just watch the feeds, but we don't know when actually that will lead to what extent and to how much time. That is a trap. So it starts with overestimating our willpower. That is why I say that as willpower trap. So we will discuss this willpower trap in more detail this Saturday. So Ramesh and Milindi, just for information, we will discuss and will, because this is very important to understand what is the willpower trap and how generally they are playing the tricks to our mind and making us distracted to the extent that we can't reach the goal that we really wanted to reach. We'll discuss. So let's see now what author is saying here. So here is saying that in the trick one, returning to work is easy. The first trick your mind will play on you is to pretend that returning to work will be easy. Yeah, this similar line. It will pretend that returning to work will be easy. Always it will say like that. It will try to convince you that you can start work whenever you choose, that you are in control of your actions. But this could not be further from the truth. In most cases, you won't be able to get back to work for hours. It is not even in minutes, it could be in hours also. You might even find yourself postponing your key task until the next day. And yeah, that happens quite a time to many of us, most of us maybe. Few of the tasks which we know that yeah, this is definitely important and urgent, still we postpone that, assuming that okay, I'll do it anyway tomorrow. And why? Because we feel that the other tasks are more exciting and more stimulating, gives us a feeling of hype, and we do them. The bottom line is, once you have, once you are overstimulated, you will find it difficult to go back to work. I cannot count how many times I told myself I would start writing later. So candid confession that author is saying, and definitely we have our own contest, and that is also true in many cases. This is one of the biggest reason of procrastination, and it never happens. Whatever procrastination happens, but going back to the work immediately by leaving what we started, just thinking that we will just see 5 minutes of it, might not work, or author is boldly saying that it never happens. Therefore, if you catch yourself thinking you are in control of your action and can return to work whenever you want, watch out. So this is the exercise that we will be taking up for next 1 week. Let's see how many times our mind is trying to play tricks with us and say that yeah, we are always in control. We can always return to any other work whenever I want, and it is okay now to just watch social media or any overstimulating activity for that matter. Then in the trick number 2, it's really interesting. Actually, we are out of time, but I will take take an exception and read this trick at least. Getting very interesting actually today. So trick 2 is you can do it later. Another trick your mind will use is to tell you that you can do your task later. Means all the urgency actually it will nullify. Because mind will create stories around around our situations and tell that no, it's okay, we can do it little later, and that is perfectly fine. The urgency mind will not tell that okay, let's do whatever is to be done first, and as a reward, let me enjoy a little bit of social media afterwards. But mind will trick and say that yes, I can always do it once I complete the enjoyment, or the kind of some menial task, or some stimulating task, or some easy task for that matter. Sometimes easy tasks are also dangerous because they keep us engaging most of the time throughout the day, and thus we our main task, which requires most of our attention, those things will be delayed. So let's come back to author. Author is saying that it will means mind will convince you there is plenty of time in the afternoon, or that you can always do it tomorrow. This is so true. Since we feel that okay, there is plenty of time ahead before the deadline occurs, and or maybe tomorrow also we can work. Even if the deadline is today, tomorrow early morning I will get up and I'll complete the work before the before I'm accountable, and so the things tomorrow or next week or next month. Sometimes it can go to next week or next month also. However, if you do not fight back, putting things off will become a habit, and this is the biggest trap. And once we keep doing this thing again and again, it becomes a habit. This is called habit of procrastination. Procrastination habit. And 5 years from now, you will be angry at yourself for having accomplished so few goals, or maybe no goals, just flowing with the flow. How many of us actually can relate? We need to think that we are having any worthwhile goal and chasing it, or we are just flowing with the flow and attending to the urgent and important task and doing the responsibility which is coming and has to be done. So those are not actually things which can give us the result which we are looking. If we are looking for astounding results in our life, then we have to change the work, change the way we work, and change the way we think, change the way our mind operates. And we will discuss more on this again tomorrow. And before we end, I would appreciate all of you to share at least 1 or 2 points that you feel is important takeaway for you today from today's session.
Yes, Pikashi. My learning from today's reading is that once we are in the zone of doing high stimulation activities, because they have different wavelengths, high stimulation activities and low stimulation activities, and once we are in that zone, that it becomes very difficult to go back to do the low stimulation activities, and that is the reason of this procrastination. And moreover, the mind starts playing tricks, uh, that we will do it later, the work can be done later. That is why we always do the work at the nick of the time. I think this is the reason.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Another thing could
Yeah. Yes, Ramesh.
another thing could be that we are seeking the stimulation of comfort and enjoyment of certain tasks like social media or whatever it may be, and that is where sometimes laziness or lower consciousness sets in, and then we get pulled in by those tasks that we have to watch out for instead of doing the job.
We need to be watchful, and as a team together we will be kind of having this activity, this reflection for the entire week. And now actually the festive season is also kind of coming or already started.
It's already started.
Yeah, so let's be watchful in this season. This is a very good time actually. Navratri is going on, and the reflection gives us enormous result. So let's take the opportunity of the vibes all around, or the Grahan Nakshatra, which is very conducive for reflection and meditation. And let's go deep inside our mind and find out what is my pattern, what is my distraction pattern. Okay, distraction pattern also we have discussed today, distraction pattern. And what
Yeah.
I need to do to come out of this distraction pattern. Overexactive and overstimulating, that we will be watchful. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, actually, this is a good. It's supposed to be a good time for Navaratri. Is a time when we are supposed to overcome our anarthas, or negative qualities, and this is exactly what today's topic is about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Bikaji. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Milinji is
Thanks,
trying
Benji
to
and
do
Benji also.
some
No, it's good. Yeah. Could you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
much.
very quick one. Okay, so from today's topic, the two things which I gather is one of how the habits are built. It's really true that we procrastinate. We put the hard task or high stimulating task to tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. So a little observation here. Just I'm just relating to my experience. The reason for procrastination, which I found in my work, it is not something big and all that. But when minutely when I watch why I postponed that this thing, there is some pain involved there or some discomfort involved there which I don't want to face. And that is what exactly Ramesh ji put in right word, because I just want to be in this zone, like comfort zone. I just don't want to face it. So there is a plenty time tomorrow, so I postponed it for tomorrow, and tomorrow never
Mm,
come. Then it go to the
mm,
next day, and that is what we focus today. I like that this thing, and yeah, this is also true. Like it happened last 3 days, and then once you postpone that activity, it get filled by 10 different activities, which is also true. And
very
then
true.
I found from today's session that those 10 activities are not at all fruitful, not productive, not goal oriented. Okay.
Yes.
It
True.
just like passing your time. You feel that, oh, you've done a lot. But
Mm,
from today's session, it is very clear. It is not worthwhile to spend your time. Better to just finish the task, which is the high priority activities, and enjoy the results, so
yes.
there is the only point here is, yes, I observed because there is some project plan needs to be prepared. I just postponing, and yesterday I completed it. So then when I completed it, then I realized that why actually I was procrastinating. So there is some element which you don't want to, you resist those this thing, you don't want to
Mm,
resist those. And
complexity.
just yeah, exactly. So I just in future, like this is what the time is, night, right, festive time, where you have
Mm,
your own ample of your time. It is good time to be watchful and be aware that what is that element which you don't like, and there is one percent. It is not like complete work you hate about. No, there is one something which you don't want to face, or don't want to work on. But once you done that, then there is a huge energy. You get a lot of other, space of time to do other activities. So yeah, a wonderful session, Vikash. Thank you, Ramesh. Thank you.
thank
You're
you.
welcome, Benji.
Great. Awesome. And likewise, some reflection points also we can include in our affirmation today
Yeah,
in the group
we
that
will.
we are
Yeah.
anyway doing, so that it will be really my like kind of a reflection for others also. And let's start the ripple effect, and let's come out of the trap that we understand that is a trap, and we won't be kind of we will not let our mind to trap us anymore. The mind is actually trapping or kind of tricking us.
Yeah, because you're on that one, since you know that I'm doing this masters in NLP now. So
Yeah.
this is very key. You use this word trap. The same thing
Mm.
is same thing exactly. The trap is basically how our mind speak to ourselves. Like it is the way it speaks. So yes, this morning only I was actually on this point, and it is synchronicity that we are discussing the same. Actually, there is no tomorrow,
Mm.
you know but we say in our mind that okay, we'll do it tomorrow. Actually, there is no tomorrow. Tomorrow never exists, isn't it? Okay, it's
Yes.
always now
True.
and today. Then why we are postponing it to tomorrow? Because it is exactly the same situation next day. Oh,
Mm.
let's do it tomorrow. So this
Yeah.
is how something which we say in our mind to ourselves. So if you observe that statement, what is that is exactly a trap, and we always follow that trap and go into the exactly the same way to do the things the next day. Yeah. Good. Yeah, I like that word now, trap.
Yes.
Just observe what the statement I'm telling to myself, which takes me on that path always.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Good,
But
good. Yeah.
I just remember my father used to say one very nice line whenever I
Uh-huh.
used to be in that zone in my child or in my adulthood, uh, in my teenage basically. So
Uh-huh.
they say that okay, I will definitely do it, but I will do it tomorrow. He says that if you say this today that you will do it tomorrow, it is just like writing this line in the wall, and every time you see that okay, I will do it tomorrow, that tomorrow will be always moved to the next tomorrow. You will see, okay, I will do it tomorrow, that will become a habit. And next day also you'll say, I will do it tomorrow. Next day again you will read that line in the wall, okay, I will do it tomorrow, and it's a habit, it's never ending loop. So whether you do it or don't do it, but never say that I am going to do it tomorrow. Very profound
So,
experience.
because in this example, your father used to means said to you that write on the wall.
Yeah, it is like writing on a wall.
Okay, okay.
When we say that I will do it tomorrow, it is like
Yeah,
writing this line on the wall, and every time you see that line, that you will think that okay, tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow means
yeah,
it is always there in front of your mind. When he
yeah,
says that it is like you are writing on the wall, means you can see always that line. That means you are that line will be always in your mind. कि
yeah,
हाँ
yeah.
tomorrow करूँगा, tomorrow means there is no date, it's a open ended, right?
Exactly,
It's open
exactly,
ended, and
exactly.
that
Yeah,
is a
yeah.
trap. That is going to be a habit, and that is
No,
what is
the thing which I
habit.
like, because in this example, I will definitely share other example. This thing is writing on the wall. Definitely, yes, you we understood the meaning of this thing, but it has a profound effect. Actually, we bring what is there in the statement in our mind, which we always repeat to ourselves, in front of us in some form, like writing on the wall, or normally I write cards and I put it on a desk. It really, really helps actually to understand,
Yes, yes,
keeping this
yes.
thing. So I really like that one, writing on the wall.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it is bringing something running in your head in front of you in your observation every time. So
Mhm.
that really helps. So yeah, yeah, good example. Good example.
Generally, we are supposed to write very important things on the wall, which we want to see again, which want to
True.
repeat again and again. But yeah, here it is the other way around. Okay,
Yeah,
1:30, so I need to leave
yeah, yeah. Please, yeah, no
for
problem,
another
no
meeting.
problem.
Thank you all
Yeah,
for joining, and
awesome. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
tomorrow
Have
will
a nice
again.
day.
Yeah.
Thank you. See you
Thank you,
tomorrow.
everyone. Thank
Bye bye.
you.
Thank you.